And welcome to the Under the Bus podcast. I'm your host, Merge. I'm here with Clayton. What's up, Clayton?
Hi.
Well, did not expect this day to go like it did. Not at all. You can kind of scrap our podcast from yesterday, last night, because a lot of stuff happened today on a lot of different fronts. So let's start with obviously the most important thing that happened today for the Lakers is we had a huge trade. The Lakers traded Larry Nance Jr. and Jordan Clarkson to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Isaiah. Oh my gosh, I hate my. All right, sorry. God, I heard myself talking and I got really thrown off. Sorry. Lakers traded Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance Jr. to the Cavs for Isaiah Thomas, Channing Frye, and the Cavs first round pick. Not the Nets, the Cavs first round pick. Although if the Lakers somehow ended up with the Nets first round pick, I would have been dancing around everywhere, and it would have been fun. But anyway, huge trade. I woke up to literally 1,000 notifications on my phone about this. So Clayton, first reaction when you saw the Woj bomb.
Oh, dude, I was teaching a lesson.
Oh,
and my phone started going off like crazy. Like it was buzzing so much that I thought I had a phone call.
mm-hmm.
So I go and look, and all of a sudden I have like 5 messages from people like, "Woj just dropped a bomb! Woj just dropped a bomb!" I was like, "What?" And then of course, like, I make the kids do some independent work, and then I look at the tweet and I was like, yes, and then he confirms that it's done, and then we're just waiting on what they're bringing back, and yeah, I was very happy. I think in about a span of 80 minutes, I think that's how long that class is, give or take 80 minutes. I think I had told someone about 500 messages. I think that was actually on the low end. It was probably between DMs on Instagram, on multiple Slack chats, and through Twitter DMs, and just other text messages. I think it was probably in that 80 minute mark about 700 plus messages. It was ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. And then of course, like, I was on like this trade high of like, oh, now we got to do something else. And knowing full well there was nothing else happen, but it was great. Everyone of course was panicking, like, don't trade Julius, don't do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was, first reaction, I guess, to the trade. I'm going to miss Nance, even though I've talked a lot of crap about him. My thing has always been that I hate how he just can't call his own number.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he just always passes up the shot. I've always liked just how great of a guy he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you follow him on any type of social media, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to love him. He's a good player. Analytics teams should love him, of course.
Mm-hmm.
He would be a guy, like, in the future I would love to bring back.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was just the numbers game that got up to him.
Yeah, it was just, we have 2 incredible power forwards out of him.
Yeah. Kuzma at this point is just a monster on offense. Yep. He's got a long way to go on defense, obviously. It's improving, but and then Julius, the offers on him from everything I read were just not high. I still don't understand it.
Oh,
but yeah, I think they're just 2 better players in my opinion. And not that he's a bad player. It was just that they're better, and they could use him as an asset to move.
Yeah.
Jordan Clarkson. And Clarkson has been up and down this year. He's on a high right now. And I hope both of them succeed, and I think both of them will be good there.
I think especially Larry, because I think LeBron's gonna love him personally.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna watch Cleveland now. Like, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of alley-oops from LeBron to Nance.
Not to mention too other trades that happened today. They also got Rodney Hood and George Hill, who are also 2 other good players
Yep.
underrated
Yep.
players, so they're going
Yeah.
to be interesting to see.
Hill's had a meh year, but
I'm willing to say that's because he's on the Kings, but
yeah. So I think he's gonna come back and he's gonna be really good. Oh, excuse me. But they literally did not give anything up that was really helping them in any way.
yeah.
Derrick Rose has been bad for multiple years.
Shout out to the Timberwolves.
People still think he's good for some reason. He's not good. They gave up Channing Frye, who can shoot, but he hasn't been shooting great this year, and he's only playing 12 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas
Been bad.
has been an absolute train wreck. Despite what everyone thinking, remembering last year, he has not been good this year.
Right.
They gave up Jay Crowder, who I think it was the biggest disappointment to me.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be perfect with LeBron.
Oh yeah, no, I thought he was going to be awesome, and he was really bad. And I think he'll be fine in Utah. I think he'll probably get back some of that.
I think he started in Utah, actually. I think he was drafted by them, I want to say.
Dallas, I think.
He was in Utah at one point. I know he was. Or maybe I'm thinking of DeMario Carroll. It might be DeMario Carroll. I might be confusing the two. But
I don't know. I think they gave up one. Iman Shumpert. So they got 4 guys. They have an open roster spot, which they gave to Kendrick Perkins. That was dumb.
He's just there because everyone loves him. Honestly, seriously.
Yeah,
he's not going to play a minute. Everyone loves that guy.
Yeah. Jay Crowder. Yeah, no, he's never been in Utah. He was in Dallas, Boston.
It must have been Carroll then.
I'm gonna look it up. I think you're right on that one. But yeah, they gave up nothing for
except for the pick.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest. Yeah, you're right. It was Utah. He was there before Atlanta. Anyways, for the Lakers, Fry gives them another pick and pop big. He does. Mm-hmm. He's really good at those little fake flare screens.
Yeah.
I tweeted out, if anyone goes back on my timeline, I tweeted out a short little GIF from someone. He acts like he's going to go screen, and then he just goes back behind the 3-point line. It's a decoy, and then you just pop him right there, and he's got it open for a 3. Isaiah has not been good.
I tweeted, by the way.
What?
He said it was only okay. Sorry, he tweeted about the Cavs, but never mind. You can go. I thought he said something about the Lakers, but
okay. He has not been good, and I would be kind of worried about him. He's not healthy. Still, there's no way he's healthy. Not. But this is why I was never a huge fan of him. Like, he's a small guy, and he can't play defense. So, like, while people are really excited to bring him in, I think both of them are just expiring contracts. Honestly, the real takeaway is that they were able to move Jordan Clarkson, and that they were able to get a first-round draft pick.
Yep,
pretty much. That's the only. That's the way I look at it.
It was really
like I understand people are really hoping that IT comes back, and I've seen several people say, I don't know, it's hard to tell sometimes in text if it's a joke or not, of saying like IT is going to lead us to the playoffs. If IT plays like how he's been playing, he's going to lead us to a worse draft pick or a better draft pick for Boston or Philly. So
secret agent.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping for
dive a little bit deeper. Huh? Yeah. And that's the thing. If he's Sun's Isaiah Thomas, that's fine. He's a bench.
Yeah.
Bench guy. I think one of the biggest things we kind of joked about it is that he'll be a good backup point guard now. Obviously, something that even though like we both like Caruso,
he still has some developing to do.
Yeah. It means that Tyler Ennis is gone.
Yep.
I would not expect, if IT is playing on Saturday, and I believe Luke Walton just said that he is.
They both will.
Ennis is probably cut by then, and thank God, not a minute to spare, because he's just terrible. So then I've already been starting to look at like Real GM or NBA.com looking for guys that you could potentially rotate on 10-day contracts.
Yeah.
Well, and they still have an open roster spot too. So
yeah, they'll have, and they might have. They might have two now. Obviously, like you just said. But
yeah, they'll have two, and then I mean, like I don't know if Corey Brewer wants a buyout. I don't think he does. Brooke Lopez has already said that he does not want to buy out, which I'm fine with not buying out Brooke.
He's been good recently, Brooke.
Yeah. So
at least defensively.
Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. We can dig a little bit deeper into it, but if you want. But I just looked at it as two expirings, and a first round draft pick. That's the team okay players, but whatever. I mean, like neither of them I expect to be Lakers next year.
No. The only way I'd expect IT to be a Laker next year is on a 1-year deal and he balls out, which I highly doubt.
Yeah.
I do expect for at the very least IT to be a decent backup point guard. That's all I really want from him at this point. Just don't make the team worse. That's pretty much what I want.
Yeah, don't be the cancer that you were in Cleveland.
Right.
You know, like
I mean, if he really does, if the 3 years ago quote that everyone likes to bring up, if he really does love, want to be a Laker and he's super ecstatic to be here and all that stuff, then he shouldn't be a cancer. But who knows?
I know. I don't care about that.
I know.
I know you. I know what you're saying. That's one thing I just could not give two F's about.
I just hope he can be at least almost something close to what Clarkson was for us.
Yeah, you hope, but we have no idea how that hip is.
Yeah, and I mean he's only putting up. I mean he's put up, what, 15 points per game right now, and he's only shooting like under 40% from the field, under 20, under like 30% from the three. I think 25% from three, something like that.
Yeah,
which is not good.
Maybe
good. The Lakers seem to be. The Lakers do seem to be very ball movement oriented now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we saw today. There's a lot of really nice passes. So hopefully he can buy into that. The Cavs weren't a huge ball movement team. They were a very ISO oriented.
I mean, neither was. I mean, was Boston really with him? Like, I mean,
yes, they were 100%.
I mean, he had a usage rate of what, like 35%.
No, I know, but Stevens used him a lot off of flare screens and a bunch of other stuff. Like Stevens ran a lot of plays for him.
His most common play type, according to Synergy, was as a pick and roll ball handler.
Yeah, I expect that that's a lot of what he does.
That right there is honestly, if he's healthy, that is probably right there the biggest thing that he brings to.
He's a really good pick and roll ball handler.
Yeah,
and he's a pretty decent distributor as well. But
and he can actually hit a free throw. Channing Frye can hit free throws too. That's two things I love about these guys.
This is great. So Royce Young tweeted out a video of interview with Paul George. And Paul George on the cheers he got tonight in Stables, he said, hopefully it's more so because I'm home more than anything. And while he was saying it, he had a big, huge grin on his face. Oh, it's so great.
Oh, yeah. Of course I want Paul George in LA. I'm gonna end up being blocked by Royce. If Paul George goes to LA, because I'm going to be a massive dickhead to that guy.
Oh yeah, obviously we want Paul George to come to LA because
he says he's a reporter. You're not a reporter. You're a fan. Like you're a fan being paid by ESPN.
Ever since the KD stuff, I lost all respect at all.
Oh no, yeah, I totally agree. Dude is just.
I mean, when you call out a guy, you call out a guy's manhood because he chose a choice that helped him personally and what was the best for him, then you're just a bad person. I don't care. You can't put it any other way.
I bet I would love to know if anyone could find out if Royce is "Make America Great Again," because it would not surprise me one bit.
Obviously, I want Paul George on the Lakers because he will be an awesome fit on the team. But just to see the pettiness
that's first and foremost, of course.
Yeah,
I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to just. Oh man, terrible.
Oh, it would be so
I
great. Anyway, so looking at this from a short-term standpoint for Lakers, what do you see how it impacts for the rest of the season?
The trade,
yeah,
the for this season,
yeah,
you get another pick and pop big from Channing Frye.
yeah.
I don't really expect much of anything from on defense when it comes to him.
Yeah, I think it was Tim that tweeted out he was like the worst pick and roll defender in the league.
Yeah, no, he's not very good. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
That's going to be good just to open up some space so you could see some like Julius lineups with him. Also, if you play him with Kuzma, then you got potentially five out lineups. If anyone doesn't know what that means, it means that everyone can spread the floor. With IT, that's just the biggest question mark. You just have no idea what you're getting from him. If you're getting what he was in Cleveland, you're getting a bad player.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a question. It's just a bad player. I would hope that he improves because of health,
Yeah.
But if he improves, do not expect 2016, 2017 Isaiah, because you're going to look like a fool if you do that, because 2016, 2017 Isaiah was like insanely good.
Yeah.
Like
that was
really
the best season from a player under 6 feet, like ever. Like not even close.
Yeah. He had a OBPM, offensive box plus minus, of 8.7 on offense last year.
Oh my god.
On a 34% usage rating. He literally does not do much else. I mean, he can distribute a little bit and play make, obviously.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't rebound. He plays literally no defense.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have Josh Hart next to him,
it's gonna have to be Lonzo Hart.
I wouldn't even say KCP because KCP's not looked good recently defensively.
Oh yeah, no, KCP would have been a guy I would have.
Which is why I would get if once Lonzo does come back, I would bring a Josh Hart off the bench. Because with IT, yeah, because I don't want to have KCP next to IT, or you can just stack the lineups in a certain way, and just have like Josh come out early, have KCP come in a little earlier, and then have once IT comes in, have Josh come in, But you're gonna need to have him or Zoe alongside him because it will be a train wreck if he isn't. Or you have to have Ingram and Randall and Brooke also out there with him too.
Yeah. His defense is bad.
Yeah,
it was bad last year, but it was able to be covered up just because of just how damn good he was on offense. But his defense it's just god awful. Like and everyone's like, well, point guard defense isn't a big deal. No, it's not for the most part. But when you're 5'9", and people can just, especially with the Lakers, how they switch everything, they're just going to switch and make sure that you're on them.
Yeah,
and
they'll just run offense on whoever is being guarded by Isaiah. But again, you're going to need to have the best possible defensive players out there with him.
Yeah,
or he's against bench players.
Exactly.
I think IT will close out games some this year. Just from the standpoint, I think he's gonna have games where he's hot, like any decent offensive player would. And he'll be out there to end the game. Or Luke might think the king of the fourth quarter is still out there, All right, moving on from short term and Isaiah Thomas and that, the more important part of this is the long term impact of this trade. So how does this impact long term for the Lakers?
Opens up lots and lots of cap space. Mm-hmm. They're now up to about $47 or $48 million in cap space with Fry, Thomas, Lopez, KCP, and Brewer. I think that
includes Julius.
No, that does not include Julius.
Okay.
If you let Julius walk, you get approximately to 57 or 58 million, I think. No. Yeah, 57 or 58.
Right.
And then if you stretch Dang, you get to like 69 or something. Like it was, yeah, something like that. So, yeah, nice. So I don't want to get rid of Julius.
Nope.
I've said that. And we've said repeatedly that we just want to go after one max guy, sign Julius, and just my rant was I just want to start actually building.
Yeah.
So
start with Paul George, pretty much.
Yeah, and the young guys. So it just opens up tons of cap space, and this is a very good free agent class. There's lots of guys that you could bring in. I mean, say Isaiah does show that he's healthy and he starts playing well. I personally don't want to bring him back.
Right.
Just because I don't like guys that are as small as he is.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're ever. I mean, like, if that's a guy that you're going to be playing heavy minutes, I don't think that you're ever truly a contender with a guy that small.
Yeah.
As such a high usage guy. Maybe I'm wrong, but whatever. What was I saying? Yeah, we went over several guys yesterday. Reed, NBA last night, it was yesterday morning, tweeted out that list of guys. So it just, you can now get 2 or 3 extra of those guys.
Yeah. I mean, especially with how the market looks like it's going to go, like we talked about yesterday. I mean, I still think a lot of people still think Joyce is going to get a crap ton of money from someone, which I don't get.
I don't. The only team that I would really be worried about is Dallas.
Right.
But the problem with that is Julius is a 4, obviously. Yep. Harrison Barnes is a 4. They're already paying him a max salary. So,
I mean, you're not going to pay him all that money and then bring him off the bench, obviously. And I don't think you start him at the 5.
No, you don't start him at the 5, and
especially with this class, they might just draft a 5.
I mean, Dallas is not going to go after DeAndre now.
Right.
After the last time they went after DeAndre. But there's a few other guys. Like, there's 2 guys I think that are completely burned from them. Noel, obviously, and DeAndre. But there's a couple other guys that they could target that would be decent fits or whatever.
I could see Capella,
they could throw a lot of money at and make Houston sweat that, unless Houston is going to go full on after
Braun.
But like I said, you can go to max. That's the feeling. I think that's the way that they're going to go. They're going to try to go. And then just lots more space to be able to fill in, because Jordan was $12.5 million this year, or next year, and Nance, even though he's not a lot, it's at 2.27, blah blah blah. Yeah. So you're looking at almost 15 million from those 2 players. So you could get, 2-3 players with that, possibly, if you're smart with it. Looking at the roster, Brooke is probably gone. KCP is likely gone.
Yeah.
I would assume Deng is stretched. I would assume
so too. I've been hearing people say that they should try to use that pick to attach Deng. That's not going to get rid of Deng.
That's not going to get you rid of Deng. You're going to have to also probably attach like 220 or 221 pick. And they've already said that they don't want to do that. And they've kind of given up on trading him. I think he's just going to be stretched.
Yeah, I think he will be too. Unless they completely strike out, I think they just wait another year again.
Yeah, and that would be fine. I mean, they'll still have a buttload of cash to spend. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Corey Brewer won't be there. Ennis won't be there. I would I would still assume that Zubats and Thomas Bryant are going to be there.
I would hope so.
They're just cheap and young, so I don't know why they
unless you're
there.
attaching them to a trade that gets you something back, I don't see a reason to trade them or waive them.
Yeah. So really, the roster right now looks like Lonzo, Ingram. We'll save Randall, just because I think at the very least they'll probably give him he'll have to sign like the QO, the qualifying offer. So Ball, Ingram, Randall, Kuzma, Hart, and then like Zubats and Bryant. That's what, 7 players?
Yeah. So, and only like one of them has a lot of money on him, or not even that, because Julius, if he takes the QO,
yeah, he's at 4 point something. I think it's not very much. And then Lonzo's at like 7.4 million. Ingram is at 5.7. That is that's really funny how much of a jump from 1 year, like the same pick position. That's funny. You're looking at what, 12 million there, or let's go 13 because of the, 0.4 and 0.7.
Right.
And then, my whole point is like, there's a ton of cash and there's only like between 5 to 7 guys on the roster. You'll have tons of space and tons of roster spots to fill. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting.
Yeah. I'm expecting, okay, I don't want to expect that someone is going to come, but my gut tells me that we're going to get at the very least Paul George.
Yeah, I'm always going to be skeptical, but it feels like it's going to happen. I don't know. Maybe
there's way too many hints. Paul George is way too sneaky with this.
He freaking lied in his little thing with Royce, saying that he didn't hear it. Get the F out of here. We saw you smirk, dude.
Come on, Paul. I made it my new Twitter. My new Twitter, Abby. Paul,
we've all been to Staples. There's no way when the Staples Center's chanting something that you don't hear that.
He has the perfect out too.
Yeah.
Perfect out. All he can say is, "Oh, I love these guys. I had a lot of fun playing with them. They'll always be my brothers, but I gotta do what's best for my family." That's all you have to say, PG. That's all you gotta do, man.
Yeah.
This is the most optimistic I've been about the Lakers since Dwight and Nash. The beginning of it.
I wasn't very optimistic.
You got to remember
you were like
12, 13 when that happened. So I was a lot
Was
less.
it seriously that? No, you were probably like, what, 15?
Wasn't it wasn't it like
2012? Oh, maybe. Yeah, you were like 13 or 14, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, so it doesn't match it. I just saw Steve Nash and Dwight Howard, like the names, big names. Yeah. But this is, I have full belief, even if, God forbid, we lose Julius, I think we are very set up for the future unless they do something incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, I want to keep Julius. I think Julius would be such a key part of this team in championship runs and playoff runs. But Lonzo, we have Ingram, Ingram looked so good recently. Lonzo, Ingram, Kuzma, Josh Hart, who's been a monster, Thomas Bryant, Zubats, and I mean, whoever we get in this draft, the 2 players we get in this draft, maybe. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, the Lakers have a first and a second round pick from here on out, which is just amazing to say.
So much fun. That's so much fun.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I want to talk a little about, there was a basketball game today played by the Lakers after all of the trade deadline fun. Lakers played the Oklahoma City Thunder, obviously, and they were shorthanded without Russ and Carmelo, but the Lakers always seem to struggle with teams that are shorthanded. Ask the Orlando Magic. They got killed by Orlando without Aaron Gordon. So it's really nice to see Lakers. Well, first of all, the Lakers won by about 26 points. I believe it was 83 to 109. The Lakers completely killed them. Everyone chipped in. I mean, but I'd say player of the game is Julius Randle. I mean, there's so many times in that third quarter where he just absolutely bullied. I think it was Jeremy Grant, and it was just so much fun to see him just yell in everyone's faces when he
got pat a couple times too.
When he yelled and one, he was channeling his inner Carlos Boozer. Which
it was 106
incredible.
to 81.
106 to 81. Got you.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a lot of fun to see Julius be Julius and him not have to worry much anymore. Since he can't be traded. Josh Hart was himself again. I think he had 5 assists today too, which was very impressive. Kuzma seems to be slowly breaking out of that slump he was in. He didn't shoot great, but he made some really nice passes. He had 2 blocks, 9 boards, 16 points. Ben Rosales points out a lot. The biggest key to his development offensively is that pull-up jumper. And if he ever develops that pull-up jumper, he's going to be an absolute monster on offense. Like, I don't know, there isn't much you can do to stop him if he has that pull-up jumper, Yeah. But it's awful. Like, it's a huge work in progress, that pull-up jumper. But if he ever gets it to a point where it's above average, and it's like, how are you going to guard him? Because he can do everything. He can do everything else on offense. Ingram had an awesome game. He hit 3 threes, right?
Yeah, he was 3 for 4.
3 for 4. That's coming along nicely too. If that jumper, if that 3-pointer falls, I mean, again, is there anything that could stop him? If he has that jumper falling, because he's incredible at attacking closeouts.
And he's now up to. Before tonight, he was at 35% from 3. Only on 1.6 attempts per game, but that's been increasing. I would expect it to bump up a little bit, maybe not a full percentage point, but maybe half or something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, just him being able to stretch the floor then just opens up the court more for him to be able to attack those closeouts like he does, and he makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember who brought this up. I don't remember exactly who tweeted it out, but someone asked, like, has there ever been can a player who averages 20.7 rebounds and 7 assists with really good defense, can that be the best player on a team? And saying, like, if Ingram averages 20, but he's been showing so much as a point guard recently. Those passes, I think he had. I don't know how many assists he had, but he only had 1 turnover. He had 6 assists, 1 turnover.
Yeah.
And he's had multiple games where he's had 10 assists and 2 turnovers, or so something very similar to that. And that's really, really impressive for a guy whose handle isn't the greatest right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is just because he's so freaking lanky.
Yeah,
it's just, he's got to tighten it up, and that's probably going to take an off season or 2 to get.
Handles are something you can develop over a time. I remember D'Angelo came into the league with okay handles, and then after one off season, he came back with really good handles. But Brook continues to do well defensively. He didn't have a great game on offense today, but I very much underrated him on a defensive end this year. He had some really nice moments against Steven Adams today. Who's one of the toughest guys to stop down there. KCP had 20 points somehow, but I feel like he had a really bad game. The way I don't know if that was just, I mean, PG toasted him so many times. He turned into a pretzel with that like fake behind the back. I don't even know what he did there, Paul George, but KCP just fell. And PG was like, okay, he's fought past him.
I do want to. With this win, Pete said it. The Lakers pull to the 10th seed. They pass the Knicks, who now are likely going to be free fall. So their pick currently will sit at 10. They might. I need to look at the standings here in a second. And then while the pick that they acquired from Cleveland is currently number 24. So 24 will have some good guys that we can talk about in due time. But I don't see them falling back into the top 10. I mean, obviously they're at 10, but
I thought I could have swore on Tankathon it said they were 11th right now.
I'll look it up, maybe, but
Because I remember someone tweeting out something about enjoy Miles Bridges.
They might have looks like they might have passed Charlotte too.
Oh yeah, they won today too. That's weird, but yeah.
I'll look it up.
But if we can get out of the top 10, then I'm fine with conveying that pick.
Yeah, they're tied with Charlotte at 23 and 31, both teams. Mm-hmm. I would assume they have some type of tiebreaker over them.
I think we
played them twice. We've won one, we lost one. So
right. That's what.
Maybe some type of like conference play.
Maybe
I'm looking it up. No, that's not it. I don't know what it is. I don't think, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just really nice to from our pick, instead of being us giving up Jaren Jackson or Marvin Bagley, it's now Colin Sexton and Miles Bridges, which both I think could be good players in the NBA, but not Jaren Jackson, Marvin Bagley type players, you know.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more easier to stomach come draft time.
Since the end of that 9-game losing streak, I think that at one point they were like on Tankathon, I think had them at a top 3 pick.
Yeah,
and I was just like, no.
I remember tweeting out, we're totally going to give the Celtics. Or no, I said we're totally going to give the Sixers Doncic or the Celtics Ayton. I said something like that.
Yeah. So now at 11, that's a lot easier to stomach. I don't know if I think that the Lakers passed Utah.
They've been really good recently, but I have a feeling that maybe losing Rodney Hood can hurt them a little bit. Rubio's been on fire as of late, which has definitely been helping them. And Donovan Mitchell. He's been awesome the whole year.
Yeah, they're 3 games behind Utah. I don't know if I see them.
Oh, they're 3? It seemed like a lot. I could have sworn it was 6. Maybe that was a while ago, but
no, they're only 3. The Lakers are 23 and 31. The Jazz are 26 and 28.
We're still 11th in the West, right?
Yeah, and like that's fine.
No. I'm just trying.
No, I know. I'm just like, that's fine. I mean, would we like to get to like 10 or somehow 9? Yeah, that'd be great. Speaking of which, looks like the Pelicans are in free fall.
They've been losing.
28 and 25. They were at the 6th seed. Now
they were, but 5 through 9 is really close, aren't they?
Yeah. 5 through 9 is separated by 2 games.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That's insane.
Oh man, but yeah, no. I mean, they've lost the last 2. They're without Boogie. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. I mean, I'd have to go back and look. They're 5-5 in their last 10. But
it's just crazy to think that we're only 6. We have 6 less losses than the Thunder, who have 25 losses, which is just insane to me. You know, with like obviously, like the
Lakers are 7 games behind the Thunder.
That's ridiculous.
That's stupid. I know there's no way it happened, but imagine the Twitter shit show that would happen if the Lakers made it to like a 7 seed. Like, imagine that happening. It would be the greatest day in Lakers Twitter history since the Kobe's retirement. Like, oh my gosh, it would be incredible. Yeah. If they, I mean, they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not.
It would. Oh man. I would talk so much crap. I would talk so much crap. It would be bad.
Imagine if the Lakers got an 8 seed and they played the Warriors and they took 1 game from them. Imagine the insanity that would happen.
Which honestly, which is
weird to say.
But
we have the Warriors number sometimes.
Well, the Lakers just match up really well with them, even though they're obviously the Lakers are not a good team and Golden State is a very good team.
Right.
The Lakers always seem to take at least a game a year from Golden State.
Or at least keep it really close.
Yeah, I mean,
all 3 games this year, it's been either overtime or 5 or less points. You know.
Yeah.
Which is just absurd.
Yeah.
And they've been actual games where So there was a game where I think Steph was out, but they still had KD and Clay and Draymond, right? Then there was a game that I think Draymond was out, but it still had Steph and KD. I don't know what it is with the Lakers, but Steph Curry does not have good games against us.
Mm-hmm.
It's the weirdest thing ever since the Marcelo Huertas days. There was the game he went like 1 for 12, and we called Marcelo Huertas the Kobe stopper, the Curry stopper,
the catalyst.
Like, the catalyst. Shout out to Byron.
He should not be named.
Yeah, like it would be so much fun if like next year the Lakers get Paul George again, 8 seed. I honestly think that series against the Warriors would be an actual competitive series. Granted, we might lose in 5. But those might be 5 really close games, you know?
Maybe.
I don't know. It's just a really weird little thing with the Lakers and the Warriors. Like, you would think they would just get absolutely murdered by them, but they always have a game or a game or two where they keep up with them, and they I think Lonzo and Steph are decently match up. Obviously, Steph's a much better player, but weirdly, Randall always has Draymond's number too.
Mm-hmm.
He always, ever since Julius's his second preseason where he had the he can't guard me thing, which was a lot of fun. But I don't know. I'm just really excited about the whole thing. I just don't see a way the Lakers aren't a top 4 team in the West in the next 3 years, in my opinion. 3 or 4 years, something like that. Okay, moving on to final part, but probably my favorite part until draft night. It's going to be the Lakers got the first round pick from the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's probably going to be 23 to 28 range, right? I'd say around that area. I don't see the Cavs game much worse than what they are right now.
I don't see them getting to 28.
Yeah, because it'll be Warriors, obviously, Houston, obviously. I think the Celtics are decently ahead of them.
Yeah,
I think the Raptors are decently ahead of them too.
The Celtics are ahead of them. The Raptors are ahead of them. The Bucks apparently have made a jump ever since firing.
What a concept! I was bashed by friends for saying that firing Jason Kidd was the best thing that could happen to this team.
Oh yeah, no, that was a great move to fire him. I didn't think like they would just take off like that though.
Oh, but, yeah.
I mean, I don't think the Bucks passed them, but you never know. Like, there could be gelling issues that just take a while. So
that too. Like,
let's just be optimistic for the Lakers and say that they drop another one.
Right. So let's just say 23. Right?
So yeah. So go to 23.
All right. So 23. Who would be some of your favorite prospects in that range? We'll eventually have a full-on breakdown of a lot of these guys in the future as the draft gets closer and closer, and as we watch these guys. But just off of what you know right now, that who are the guys that you are the most interested in that range?
There's lots.
Yeah, there are lots.
I mean, there's like 8 to 10 guys that I would love to see, and some guys that I think could possibly drop and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. So I'm just, because our buddy Cole and them over at the Stepien are so great, I'm just going to use their rankings for this, since of course my ESPN insider got messed up. Thanks to ESPN. So I'm just going to say of like who is available at 23.
Right.
Okay. So that takes off guys like Landry Shamet, Raleigh Alkins, DeAnthony Melton, Troy Brown, and Mitchell Robinson. Guys that I think that possibly could be there, but yeah. So we'll go with and it also takes off your boy Shea. Shea Gilgeous.
That's my guy. That's my guy. I would love him so much.
That's your guy. So, in my opinion, the thing that the Lakers need most is a 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty obvious. A guy that has a decent ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
A guy that can shoot. A guy that can defend. That has length. Can handle the ball a bit. So that goes to if you want to go onto their site, numbers essentially 28 to 31 are the guys that I would be looking at. Lonnie Walker, Shake Milton, Bruce Brown, Chandler Hutchinson are four guys that I would love to look at. I know that Josh Reeves is a guy that people have been talking up. I haven't seen him, so I can't hear the comments.
Yeah.
Hamidou Diallo, we love him, but
I would.
At this
He
point,
hasn't been that good this year, but I would
No.
stand for him immediately if we drafted him.
Oh yeah, I honestly I would try and trade up to get him.
Uh-huh.
In the second round if we were to or like use the second round pick that they have and then like a second round pick in the future and try and get him.
Yeah.
Just because I just love him so much. But yeah, so like you could go Lonnie Walker, Shake Milton, Bruce Brown, Chandler Hutchison. Again, I need to look at Reeves, Diallo, and then a lot of people are really in on Keita Diop.
Yep.
Or is it Diop or Jop?
I've said both. I remember. I mean, there's a guy whose last name was Diop or Jop in the NBA, and I've heard it multiple ways. So I just say Jop.
Yeah, there's one guy. He's a deep right now, but he's Zahir Smith, I think his name is. I think he's
from Texas Tech, right?
Yeah, he's just been shooting up boards.
I remember Cole saying something about like he might be a lottery pick next year.
Yeah,
if he doesn't declare.
Yeah, I believe I'm 95%. Yeah, he's a 6'5". That's what I thought.
And he's like a defensive monster too, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I've heard that he's just extremely good. Very, very, very athletic.
Uh-huh.
He can shoot. He can pass. He's a guy that if he tests the waters, I bet like he could go high. Like Cole has him 20, and then Jackson Hoy, their new guy, has him at 15. So yeah, there's going to be lots of options.
That's totally a guy the Lakers would go to because that's a guy that literally no one expects to go there except for people like Cole. And that's totally a guy the Lakers would go with, like a Kyle Kuzma, you know?
Yeah.
So I can totally see that.
Yeah. If the Lakers have 23 or even as far down as 28 and all of those guys are on the board, I would be happy with literally any of them.
Yeah. I think the one guy I would be the happiest with in the guy that you've mentioned is Chandler Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot on him and that guy is a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think the guy that would probably lead me is just because I just do love him is Lonnie Walker.
Lonnie, yeah.
He's pretty freaking young still. He's 6'4" with a 6'10" wingspan. He's pretty dang athletic. He's a good shooter. The mechanics are good. He's athletic. I think he would be a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
He just checks all the boxes for me. But if you want to go kind of like a 3 for off the bench, you know, Hutchinson would probably be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really any of those guys. There's my main thing is you don't want to target need. You want to go best player available. But like there's really at that point there unless like Mitchell Robinson falls because of his crazy issue with the college, like there's not a 5 that I want to take at that point.
Are there any 4s in that range or no, not really?
Killian Tilly.
Tilly's the guy I've been interested in, but I wouldn't draft him obviously. He's a guy that I've always like had my eye on, and I've seen a lot of people have him near lottery too. But
yeah, in the past he was really high.
Yeah.
There's a guy that I've been seeing around, people talking a lot about him. I don't know enough about him, but he doesn't check one of my boxes. Is Dazanan Musa.
From where's he from?
He's from Croatia or Bosnia.
Oh, the guard. He's like 18, right?
Yeah, he's 18. He's
got with the mask, right?
He's a small forward. Does he wear a mask? I don't know.
I remember in some FIBA thing or whatever, he wore a mask and it was like the black ones, and they were like super awesome. But
yeah, I see it.
Negative or equal wingspan though.
That's the thing with me. And like his Hood. I'd have to look more into him. Obviously, it's so so early. People are saying like he could literally go bottom of the lotto.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's just the guy who gets buckets, from what I hear.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. At the Stepien, the highest they have him as 21, and that was Mike Gribanov, and that was he hasn't updated in over a month.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but no one else has him higher than that. So yeah, I would target a 2 or 3. There's not really any backup point guards that I would really like at that range.
Are there any guys who are like 1-2s who also play the 2?
Depends on what you think of Shake. Shake plays 1 and 2 at SMU. Bruce is a 1-2, but he's more a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Lonnie could possibly be a 1-2, but I think he's more 2. I don't see them wanting to go after a guy like Trayvon Duval. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But maybe
I'd be mad if they got Duval. To be honest.
Yeah, I know that like the ceiling and everything.
Knowing the Lakers, he turned into prime D Rose or something like that out of nowhere or whatever.
Yeah. A guy that I know a lot of people are high on, I would try and just get this another second round pick for him, would be Jalen Brunson from Villanova.
I really
if you want to keep tapping that Villanova pipeline.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people are really high on Javon Carter.
You don't see it.
He'd be fine. I think it would just be kind of an uninspired pick. At this point though, I'm not going to.
Well, yeah, obviously. Again, we're never going to see the Lakers draft someone and say, why the hell did they draft them? We're gonna be, let's just wait and see.
After Kuzma, I'm not doing that ever again.
Never ever again. We acted like we drafted. We drafted Caleb Flanagan.
That one would have pissed me off to no end. Like Kuzma didn't make a lot of sense to me at the time. Now that's obviously stupid. Yeah. But Caleb Flanagan is garbage.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, we acted like he was a Caleb Flanagan.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah,
and he was obviously the complete opposite. Kyle Kuzma, I love you. So let's just I don't know. Like it's just something that the Lakers just have this figured out somehow. I don't know what they do. I don't know how they do it, but they just ever since they've started actually drafting again and not trading away their picks. I can't really name a ton that have been terrible. I mean, besides like Darius Morris and Derek Character, who's good for a little bit, then he just fell off. Same with Devin Ebanks. Those are both guys who were good for like a second, and then they just fell off. I thought Andrew Gowlock was going to be something. The mini Mamba, that was.
I did like Gowlock, but
that was my guy for a little bit, and then after Kobe left, or during Kobe's decline year, the only person we striked out on was Anthony Brown.
Yeah,
which again at the time seemed like an incredible pick for value.
I still have no idea what's wrong with him. I don't.
Yeah, I mean he looks awesome in G League, and
I mean like he does everything you want in the G League.
Yeah,
like I just literally, if he could hit 35% of threes in the NBA, that guy is at least at the very worst end of the bench guy.
Yeah,
like probably like the 11-12 guy. So like not exactly a rotation guy, but if there's an injury, you can put him in. But like he literally can't shoot in the NBA. I don't understand what it is. Maybe there's some type of weird. I saw people commenting. I can't remember who it was. Maybe there's some weird hitch at the top. Maybe he doesn't process it fast enough, and like the G League is just the right speed for it. I don't know. It just doesn't make. I don't. Yeah, that's the one. That's gonna just of a prospect that kind of just like busted. Like that's gonna be the guy that just bugs me. I don't know.
Is there a higher ranked prospect that you wouldn't draft if they dropped? Like a 13-ish, like that range kind of prospect that you wouldn't draft if they dropped? Like Robert Williams. Would you draft Robert Williams if you dropped?
Yeah, I'd probably draft Robert Williams. I've always loved Robert Williams.
About like,
Maybe Killian Tilly.
what about Jonte? Because Jonte's a 4, isn't he?
Yeah, he's more of a. They play him more as like a small ball 5. He's like 6'10" or 6'11". Yeah, he's 6'11". He's more of a 5.
Well, actually, Jonte might be there because the Stepien just really likes him.
Jonte is not going to be there. But
really?
That dude's not going to be there.
From everything that it seems like, it only seems like people from like the Stepien, like this draft address, are they high on him? I mean,
I haven't seen because of my insider account.
Yeah, it just seems like
that dude's he's gonna rise up. The dude's I think the youngest in the draft class. That dude's not going to be there. He's not going to be there.
He's 18.2.
I mean, like, you would be very happy with that pick. I don't know exactly how good he'll end up being, but like that's a good pick.
I didn't know that Shai was 22.
You seriously 22 years old?
22.3.
That's weird.
That is weird. I thought he was a freshman.
Isn't he?
I thought he was.
I don't know.
Weird. I mean, either way, I really don't care about ages, but Josh Hart was 23. Kuzma was 22, you know?
Yeah, but Kuzma was 3-year and
no, I mean
Josh was a 4-year. So
I get it.
I guess that's weird. I've never noticed that. I mean, like, I still think that he could be. I still like Shai. I mean, that's a minor ding.
I mean, 6'6" and a 6'11" wingspan and a point guard. That's
yeah. So like
that's fun. So he'll be.
I think maybe probably the only guy that I would just be like, what the F would be on the Stepien would be probably Ethan Happ. Sorry,
Shout out to Kyle.
Sorry, Kyle, if you ever listen to this.
Oh my God, Kyle would never shut up if
he never would. He never would. And I know Kyle would love that pick.
Oh,
it just really wouldn't make a lot of sense to me because I think he's a true 4. I don't really think he's a 5. He's a good player, but like you have Kuzma and we're hoping that you still have Randall.
Yeah.
So
no, yeah.
I mean, would I be mad? No. Really, I guess like if they were to just reach on some type of
like if they drafted Svi at 23.
Oh, that would be pretty dumb because you could have him later. But
I mean, but again, like at this point, we feel like the Lakers scouting department is just like just wizards.
Yeah,
and they can literally do anything and figure it out somehow.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be so much fun dissecting these guys because we didn't have anything. We don't have anything now. We can just look at these guys and watch stuff.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I'm very excited to be able to.
That was probably the thing I was the most excited about during the trade, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, it's been a really long day for Lakers fans, NBA fans in general. It's gonna be really interesting to see how these guys work out on their different teams, especially with the Cavs. So probably end it here. You can follow the pod at Under the Best Pod. You can follow me at Merge Christian, and you can follow Clayton at Lakers 1949. I mean, season is on the downturn, so we're probably going to start looking at our way more towards draft stuff unless something important happens with Lakers guys. So, all right. So, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you. And we'll see you later. Peace. Sorry, I got.